What about Logan? Like he doesn't update his social media as often as like Regan.
Yeah.
So I know he practices posing a lot, and I saw the Hawaiian show. He was like really dominating the show.
Logan, as you know, in Japan, a lot of people follow man's physique and they follow classic physique. So they know that Logan was man's physique, and Logan was American soldier, right? So he had that soldier mentality. But then he is super artistic, and even when he was doing a man's physique, he had a routine. It was not simple, just that three poses, front, side, and back. He would actually create a little routine. So now when I saw his routine that he was doing for the Arnold Classic, right? I was amazed because I didn't pay as much attention to every detail like he is. He is really masterful. If you watch every movement, every angle, facial direction, expression, fingers, position, movement, transitions, everything has a reason. I mean, it's amazing. He has for me, super classical structure.
Yes,
okay,
definitely, I agree.
That example what they want. But I do think that with 1 year of hard work and a little bit improvements, Logan can contest him for a title already next year. He has a hashtag closing the gap, you know. So we tried to close that gap even in 1 year, but Logan wants to win, so he's gonna do everything what he needs to do until he wins. For me, he has a nicer shape. Like he has a better arms. You know, he has a biceps, triceps, kind of reminiscent to Arnold. He has a
definitely. When he took the side pose, this pose,
facing back shot.
Yeah, that looked really similar to Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day.
Yeah, the side chest. You know,
yes.
I mean, he did this Roman pose. That's another thing. In a Shanghai Classic, he incorporated like 10 new poses he never did before. He never did the lunging poses, you know, some of those, you know, so this is very interesting. And unfortunately, classic physique, they only have a front double biceps, back double biceps, side chest, and the classic pose of your choice. So they don't have too many comparisons. Like if you do the frontal spread, side triceps, you could compare them a little bit more.
True.
But yeah, I think classic is the way to go because aesthetic. Everybody's aesthetic. What does it mean? The waist is small, they look beautiful, right? So I think that a lot of also Japanese athletes would be very successful in classic.
Right, because maybe we have Japanese structure, like we have a really small waist, and like you said, like we don't get bloated as like compared to like other races, I guess.
Yes, and I tell you this, it's very interesting, but I didn't talk about this to other people. I'm telling you. When I was in Yugoslavia, I had a very small waist.
Right.
And then I competed in this show, and this guy had a wide waist, and that wide waist actually it made him look much bigger than me. I mean, when you see the pictures, my shoulders was just as wide, but just when you look at him, oh, he looks much bigger. So Nick Walker, for example, at the Arnold Classic, you know, he doesn't have a small waist, right?
No,
but boom, yeah, he looked bigger. He had a good abs, so people would just overlook wide waist, but he was with deep chiseled abs and a lot of mass, and he, for me, looked much bigger than anybody else.
Is Logan going to compete in the Arnold?
Logan is not going to do the Arnold. He just wants to focus on the Olympia.
So for Logan, he's going for the title next year. Olympia.
Yes, I mean, look, people would just say, you're not realistic, and who are you? You were third at Arnold Classic, right? So you have no right to think of what do you mean no right? Ronnie Coleman was ninth at 1997 Mr.
Yes.
Olympia, 1981, and 8 years later he keep winning, right?
Mhm.
But so whoever would see 97 Ronnie says it's not realistic. You're not even top 5. Don't talk about a title. Well, good thing they didn't tell this to Ronnie Coleman, because he came and claimed the title. So Logan is not really training for second place. He wants to win. Is he going to be able to win? That also depends on Chris Bumstead and Terrence Ruffin. And I mean, there's many great guys. I mean, that they did
Rion and
Krzyzewski. Yeah, there's many great guys. So I came from the era that, for example, that 97, I said at Olympia, top 10 guys, we went to European Grand Prix Tour. And in each show, like every 2 days we competed, I would beat maybe Chris Cormier and Ronnie Coleman and Vince Taylor in first show. The next show, Chris Cormier would beat Nasser Al-Sambari, who was second at the Olympia a week earlier, and to the win. And then Lee Priest, right? You're mixing one week, somebody wins, next show, somebody else, because the differences can be this little.
True.
So for Logan, I don't think that Logan is missing too much muscle size. He needs a little bit bigger back, for sure, a little bit bigger calves, but that's 1 year of working. I mean, keep in mind, he came from a man's physique to the classic. So he's already making a huge strides and improvements.
And he has a whole year to, like, until next Olympia. He's already qualified for the Olympia. So he's not going to do any competitions until the Olympia next year?
No, yeah. Now this is a plan. And you see, I used to always compete in everything that is organized. And a lot of people say maybe it's wrong, but I wanted to compete. But some of the guys would just focus on Olympia. Like Sean Ray would never do anything else but Mr. Olympia, right? Some guys like Lee Haney or Dorian. Okay, Lee Haney did one IBB Grand Prix, and Dorian did a couple of times British Grand Prix and German Grand Prix after the Olympia. But this is, you have a whole year from Olympia, you don't compete until next Olympia, and then you do a couple of shows in the European tour shortly after.
True. So he's just gonna focus on improving his size a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's the plan. Right.
Yeah. Plan is to really come in a crazy condition. I'll tell you honestly, because even Logan needed to look bigger, I sacrificed a little bit of conditioning just to have that fullness and structure. Whoa, he is now big enough. He didn't lose the comparisons in size.
Right. Okay. So random question, but do you like Japan?
Oh, do I love Japan? Well, I'm married to Japanese, right? So that tells you, I love the nation. I love the people. I love your history. I love the way every time I come to Japan, and I came maybe 10 times. I was in Tokyo many times, in the Nagoya, in Osaka, Yokohama, Kyoto. But first, your culture, respect. I really think higher level of intelligence and education, mannerism. How they interact. It's a different level. So politeness, right? Sincerity and honesty. I mean, you see, maybe you are younger Japanese and you just seen Japan. I traveled all over the world for the last 40 years, and I've seen the different cultures. So for me, every time when I go somewhere, boom, okay? So in Japan, I always felt, I feel energetic, I feel good, I love it. The only problem is I don't speak Japanese, so it's a little bit harder to communicate. That is one thing. My wife's family, I can't really communicate.
I heard you want to be called Mr. Suzuki when you come to Japan.
Well, first, because you understand, I requested that my wife take my last name, so she is Hiroko Suzuki Sharchev.
Yes.
Okay. But she said, okay, when you come to Japan, you're going to meet Mr. Suzuki. I said, yes, I will be very gladly Mr. Suzuki in Japan. Yeah.
That's really cute.
Yeah, and I mean it. I love the name anyway. For me, that's always like such a powerful. I'm sure that Betty Hiroko told you about my impression about samurais.
Samurai.
About
Yes.
yeah, this is the Musashi Miyamoto whole story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love it. So if I would be there, I would associate myself with the samurais, right? This is a honor, that the samurai spirit, and just unhumane power and dedication and focus. When I see Hidetada Yamagishi, I think that if he was born like 400 years ago, he would for sure be a samurai.
Really famous samurai, maybe.
Yes, I actually went to the movie studio, and they did a make for me as Musashi Miyamoto. So I had two swords, one long, one short, and I had my hair
Really?
done. I don't know if you never seen it. Maybe I have to send it to you.
Yeah, you have to send me a picture of that. I can put it up in this interview.
Yes, please. That's very, very interesting because I love it. I've been to several temples. Now, I don't remember the names, but even with Hidetada, the samurai temples too. The characteristic is, I mean, first, nature in Japan. Oh my God. Then this structure, these kind of temples. When you walk in, it's like completely new dimension, like a splash with the samurai spirit, and poof, your energy, your strength. I mean, it's like crazy. In one temple, I don't know if you know which one. In front, there's a big wooden pole that is super, super heavy, and then all the tourists try to grab it and lift it up, and hardly anybody can. But this is like one of the samurai exercises that they had.
Right.
I don't know the temple. I forgot. Maybe we can find it. But so you grab that big wood and you try to lift off the ground,
like deadlift, sort of.
Yeah. So I did it. And that's one of those great memories.
Right.
But all those samurais were so strong they could do it. You see, nowadays nobody's maybe as physical, and I don't know how it's now in Japan because it's a busy world, busy life, and less people maybe train. But you organize this YouTube channel for bodybuilding and fitness enthusiasts. For people that are physically active, which I would like to support you on because that's the right way. Intellectual development is great. Education is super important, but this is only one part of being. You have your intellectual, you have your physical. And for me, bodybuilding, right? What does it stand for? Building your body. You don't have to be bodybuilder like myself, professional level, but every man should be athletic and muscular.
I'm on your side. Like I don't compete in like IFBB or anything, but like I train and I love training too.
Very good. Part of the interview that I want to emphasize, like in my Hidetada's, Regan, Logan's situation, I always want to maximize everything, right? So for you now, you're a reporter for YouTube channel, right? Maybe you would want to maximize every aspect of your YouTube. So what you learn things that you can improve, right? Maybe get the right guests, and then maybe listen to the audience what they want to hear, and then you provide them with this kind of. So everything in life is maximization of whatever goal you have. Whatever you do, you can do it a little bit, minimal, optimal, or maximal. So I like always to say, if you already do something, do 100% or don't do it at all. That's my attitude.
right? Not just bodybuilding, but like everything in life.
Yes. I mean, really, if now I ask you, would that be the definition for you too? If you
Yes,
can,
definitely. Yeah. That's the
So
motivation I have.
yeah,
I feel like I could do anything, but like I have to try it, but I'm going to try my best. And then I believe that I can succeed. That's
yes,
that's the mentality that I have.
very good mentality, right mentality. Speaking of that, everybody that is listening should have that mentality. And if they don't, they should ask themselves, why not? Do you want a maximum or minimal? You know, so a lot of people just, you know, stay average because they don't, you know, want to set the goal. You know, once you set the goal, just reach that goal. Okay, once you reach that first one, okay, go for the next one. And then raise the bar. And then soon you'll realize, oh, every time, like you said, when you train, you felt better, you felt stronger. Oh, you are accomplishing your goal. And this is making you feel so much better about yourself. That's achievement, right? So small little achievements every day, every week, every month, every year is going to get you to the top.
Great words. I'm going to take notes for that.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Milos. You contribute so much to the bodybuilding community, and I appreciate you a lot for like being on my channel and be supportive of what I do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you. Like, you know, I can't appreciate more. Like, I hope I can spread your words to all the Japanese bodybuilding fan. And like, you know, thank you so much once again for this interview.
Thank you for inviting me for this Japanese interview. But I want to inform all the Japanese people that also me and my wife, Hiroko Suzuki, we have a Japanese YouTube channel. And we are trying also to bring some news and happenings to Japanese enthusiasts. So, you know, check our channel.
That's right. Everyone has to subscribe to your channel too.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.